So many artists are afraid of AI, but what if I told you that it's actually going to make your art more valuable and it's going to make you also a more valuable artist? A future with AI is not just coming, it's already here. And I hear so many artists afraid of AI. Is AI going to actually make my work irrelevant as an artist? I would actually argue the contrary. I think that AI is actually a fantastic tool for artists to use, and it's actually going to make us have more value, more intrinsic value in the market of AI mass-produced art. I believe this is the best time ever to be an artist. And the reason why is because the artists that learn how to work with AI instead of fighting it are going to be the artists that are going to thrive. I have been using AI in my day-to-day life, and the more that I use it, I have realized that it's a really important skill for me to have as an artist. It is not a threat. Just like when I first began my jewelry business making handmade jewelry, there were the Zaras, there were all of the big, huge companies with their mass-produced art. What made my jewelry unique was the fact that it was handmade, that they were unique pieces, that they were designed not in relations to what was trending or what was not trending. They were an artist's unique design. And this is what made my jewelry so valuable and why people paid more for it than having a piece from Zara or any other big chain shop that we see everywhere. And this is what positioned my jewelry as valuable because it was handmade. Everything was thought with so much love and so much care. This is what brought value to my jewelry. And I believe that this is the same thing for art and artists. AI can make art, but it cannot make your art, your unique human handmade art. So take this personal experience that I've just shared with you about making this handmade jewelry and how valuable it became, and the same goes for your painting. In a world flooded with AI art, the thing that's going to stand out is your je ne sais quoi, as we say here in France, that something, that essence that only you have, that you cannot even put into words. It's that humanness. That's the thing that's going to make your art so valuable in relation to AI art. Your unique human essence, your craftsmanship, your soul, your meraki, one of my favorite words from Greek, which is that piece of your soul that lives in your art. So as a painter, how can you work with AI? So a lot of my art friends are already using AI to create their sources, to create the sources that they use as inspiration to paint from. So a lot of them have been using Midjourney, DALL-E. You can create your own sources to paint from these AI tools. They can help you to create compositions to paint from, such as photography has always been used as reference. So to be completely honest, I have not used these tools yet, but I'm not against them because I use photography in my work. My work is basically, I find a lot of different photographs of different women archetypes that I love and want to represent. I use these to have a model for my figurative art. And I change these photographs to create something unique from them. And then that is only 50% of my process, which is when I am drawing these women. And then the rest, it is all intuitive. That's the moment that I take my paints. I make all of my paints from scratch, from different elements in nature. I use rocks, I use different flowers and charcoal and coffee and so many different elements that you can find in nature. I make my own natural pigment paint. And then I just sit down after I've created my drawings, and everything else just leads into a sort of play, a sort of flow, intuition guided form of painting. But that's my personal process. I have friends that actually they create these sources, these compositions entirely on Midjourney, and then they create beautiful paintings from these sources that are unique because they have that human touch. They were painted by their human hands. So I'm not against it. I think it's actually a really good tool to use, and I will probably experiment with it at one point in my path. So I really believe that it's your process which makes that art so unique and yours. AI can be a part of the process, but the final result is you picking up the brush with your hands and painting it. Another way I believe artists will thrive by using AI is to do exactly the things that take you away from creating your paintings and your art. So I have used AI now to help me to create my website. I have used AI to help me with my marketing, with my strategy, to help me with just simple little things that usually would take my time away from creating my paintings, from creating my art. And you can use it this way too. You can use it to help you with creating content. For example, I use Descript, which uses AI for the editing of my content, which makes my life so much easier because all I have to do is I sit here, I talk to my webcam on my laptop. That is as simple and raw as you can get as an artist. I don't use any fancy cameras whatsoever. And then to simplify my life, to get my time back, everything is edited with AI. So I have to say, this makes my life so much easier because I can sit here, I can talk about my art, I can connect to other artists, I can be visible in the artist community, but it's not taking time away from the most important thing for me, which is painting, because it's my painting that I want to spend all of my time with. It's the most important aspect of my art business, because if I don't paint, I have nothing to sell. And every painting, I want to make something extraordinary. I want to make that special piece that not only I will fall in love with, but others will fall in love with as well. That is the thing that AI cannot do. So that is your advantage. That AI will never be able to put that love, that passion into the whole painting process that only you can. So these are my thoughts. The truth is that AI is not going to replace you as an artist. It is only going to replace you if you're not using it as a skill, because if you don't have time in your day to do the things that matter, such as paint, because you're doing everything yourself, because you're not using AI as a skill to get that time back to painting and to make that beautiful art that only you can create with all of your love and all of your heart, AI is never going to replace that. It's not going to replace you. It's not going to replace any artist that is really deep in their process, making art that matters. And your client, your audience is going to feel that. It's going to feel that passion in that canvas. It's going to buy that canvas because of your unique je ne sais quoi, your unique Meraki, your soul essence. That's the thing that's going to make you irreplaceable and valuable as an artist. So these are my thoughts. And I would like to learn from you. If you use AI also to help your art business, if you are worried about AI, let me know here in the comments. Let's talk about this. This is something that I'm deeply fascinated about because it's already here. So if you've made it this far into this video and listened to me yap all the way, I would love to ask you a favor to please hit subscribe, as this is a new channel and this will help me a lot. So thank you very much for being here with me. Ciao.